how is co-working? Hold on, let me switch back. Hi, we're back. Very pog. Okay. I'm gonna switch to Legends Arceus real quick. Yeah, here we are. Make the music stop. Help. Help. Alright, guys. Whew. I always turn up Arceus a little bit just because it's always so fucking quiet. It's always quiet and then like something happens and it's very loud all of a sudden. But how was co-working, Snowba? I was lurking. Alright guys, so here's what we're doing right now. I have been doing this offline a little bit because it was good. Yeah! So here's one of the things that I was doing on Nova was co-working. Let me show you guys our Pokedex. So I think we were like at like maybe Vespa Queen last we saw each other. You got all the thumbnails done? Yeah! Huge! Yippee! I think we were like here last stream. Kind of. Well, I mean, like, you got most of the work done. That's what's important. Why is everything so quiet? Hold on. Set. Okay, things are just quiet because the game is quiet. Got it. I think we hang out right here for this, for Arceus. Okay, so we were like at like Vespa Queen last time ish, or we were just starting Scyther. I don't remember, something like that, right? So I finished off stream. I got through Cleaver and Scissor, and the thing is with Scissor, right, is that you have to defeat 5. Scissor only appears in space-time distortions, and space-time distortions only show up every 40 minutes. So part of the stuff that I was doing was literally sit in the Alabaster Icelands for 40 minutes and like every like what, like maybe 30-ish minutes check. I would check every once in a while for if there's space-time distortion. And I eventually got Scissor, so the other space-time distortions, they're going to be painful, but I can at least be, like, double productive during that. So right now, for Heracross, we are trying to find 15 that jumps out of trees, and it's just literally just, like, a matter of, like, resetting over this area. And that is what I was doing directly before I got ready for Monster Hunter. But yeah, big Pokemon week though. Big Pokemon week we knew, but like actually big Pokemon week. Kind of crazy that Pokemon had another Terra Leak. Is it like actually is it like Terra Leak size again, or are we just calling it that? Like, I did not check for myself in fear of finding ZA spoilers. That I am, at least for right now, just trying to like stay. I want my reaction to be fresh. Everything off to 2030. All right, yeah, that's pretty massive. Damn, so we already know what the starters are, I assume? Like, I'll look at, like, Gen 10 and Gen 11 stuff, because especially the Gen 11 stuff is subject to change, right? I feel like Gen 10, we're, like, getting up to a point where, like, things are going to be a little bit less likely to change massively. With Gen 10. So, I want to... Oh, upcoming MMO stuff from the league, too. Like... For, like, especially for, like, unannounced projects, like, I will look at stuff, right? Because, like, it doesn't mean that it's done yet, so, like, things can change. So, Does this mean that we know? Question though. But does this mean that we know what the gen? Oh my God, Bella! Please. Do we know what the gen? Do we know what the Gen 10 starters are? Don't tell me. I just want to yes or no. But like, I wonder. Like, I assume that was also 10. Damn. Okay. My follow-up question is: are we happy about with the starters? Because sometimes people are not happy with the starters. Like, were people right? Is it Greece? Well, the starter is a very unique starter concept. I don't know what that means. Like, I will. Honestly, I'll probably look at the starter. It was not Greece. Really? Is it Italy? I gotta ask you questions. It was in fact Indonesia. Huh. I knew that they were saying, oh, it's going to be like... I knew that they said it was going to be like a set of islands. So it could have been Greece. Or people were thinking it was going to be Greece because of Gaia. But Indonesia, that's interesting. I don't think I care whether it was Greece or Indonesia. I just didn't think it was going to be Indonesia. Oh, yes, please. Listen, again, I really only care about, like, the ZA, spoilers. Gen 10 is okay. Gen 10, and especially Gen 11 is okay. Because I don't... Like, obviously, right, like, the game leaked, right? So, like, I really don't want to see anything from, like, I don't know. We're just, like, too close to the release window where I'm like, I don't want to see anything ZA, you know? There's some YouTuber who I follow because, like, they have good shiny hunting guides. And all they've been releasing recently is, oh, ZA leak. And I'm like, I'm not going to be watching your videos because I don't want to see it. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think there's like a reasonable amount of like them like willing to be spoiled on, if that makes sense. Like, I am not oh, don't be spoiled like at all girly when it comes to Pokemon, because like at the end of the day, like knowing the decks, like, if the decks were spoiled to me, like, would I be slightly upset? Like, yes, but like that's not gonna ruin the experience for me, right? Like, the fun of it is like battling. The fun of it is, you know, catching Pokemon, and like I don't know. I feel like to some degree, right? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, having the starter spoiled for me isn't like too big of a deal. But I know that's a big deal for others. But for me, it's not. I don't know. I think like I have like looser opinions on spoilers when it comes to specifically Pokemon, because like I feel like Pokemon is very much like you kind of have to like experience it based. Like, it's not like it's a plot heavy game, right? Oh, are we back? Yeah. Like it's not like Exposition 33, right? Where like spoilers will ruin it a little bit for you, you know? It's kind of like, it's more kind of like what I'm saying. If you guys get what I'm putting down. But yeah, I do appreciate I appreciate that like you and Leo are like good for like, you two are both good filters. Like, if I'm hearing it from you, I'm like, it's probably like I probably wouldn't be upset about it. About being nowhere of this piece of information, you know? But yeah. But yeah. But guys, I really can't believe like it got leaked again. Like that was just earlier this year, right? That was like the beginning of this year. That was like what, like February or something? Like I just don't understand how such a massive leak can happen twice in such like at the same company so recently. You know what I mean? Like I think that's kind of crazy. Like clearly they did not take heed the first time it happened. Like I just can't imagine being the guy who leaked. I can't imagine being the guy who leaked the first time, and then this happening, and assuming that he didn't get fired. Like this happening again, and like it's not not their fault. Like, I just can't. That couldn't be me. I think, like Crazy said earlier, I would combust on the spot because like ain't no way. I was like looking at odds for Heracross jumping out of a tree, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the odds are really low." Honestly, I'm surprised with how many like I've like gotten. I feel like I get a lot, low key. We care about the community, but that I mean we talk about it later. True. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that was just the kind of generally crazy news to wake up to. Like Pokemon hacked, but again. And like luckily for me, right? Like I am not really on Twitter. Well, I'm really not on Twitter. So like the chances of me coming across like a ZA spoiler specifically, it's like pretty slim. Like I'm really only gonna hear about it if somebody in my circle starts talking about it. That's how I knew about the Cinder stuff. I really, in terms of like, I don't know. I guess I'm just like not really on it. For I guess for some things, I really only hear about it if like people in my circle start talking about it. And that being both VTuber news and also I guess just general gaming news. I don't know. Also, this is what happens when you upload everything to GitHub and have like 2010's internet security. Yeah. Or like upload to GitHub, but like it's like a public repo. Like, because like right, like uploading to GitHub inherently isn't bad, right? Like GitHub is just version control, right? So it's the same as like Microsoft Azure, but like theoretically an enterprise company can use GitHub for version control. But like it would be like private repos, you know what I mean? Like it would be privated repos. It wouldn't be like a public repo that rando in America can access. But yeah, the 2010's internet security is, I don't know. You would just think that after last time they would have like take precautions, you know? That there would be a solution to, there would be like more preventative measures. But yeah, I don't know. I can't get over how like I don't know. Maybe this is a really nerdy reference. But okay, so ancient Rome, specifically the city, doesn't get sacked for many, many years. It gets sacked for the first time. It's a massive deal in history. And then it just keeps on getting sacked, you know? Until, like, I don't remember what event, until, like, when it kind of stopped getting sacked. But, like, you know, like, after the first time it happened, it kind of just kept happening. Right now, that is the path that Pokemon is on. Is that with the hackings. With the data leaks. That is this is the path that Pokemon is on. Didn't get publicly leaked like this for many years, and then it got leaked once. It was a big deal, and then recently, within the first leak, a second one drops. It's only a matter of time before the third. I'm sorry, history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. What can I say? But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Oh, and other news while we're sitting here and yapping. I finished Danganronpa 3. It's the anime. It's really... okay, first of all, can I please complain about how the Danganronpa series is labeled? First of all, can I complain? Because why is it Danganronpa 1, Trigger Happy Havoc, or slash animation, right? It's just, like, it covers like the same story. Trigger Happy Havoc? Is that what it's called? And then Danganronpa 2, right? Normal counting. And then we go Danganronpa V3, which is apparently not, like, it's a different timeline from 1 and 2. And then Danganronpa 3, which is in fact a different medium from the games. But it continues the story from the games. But V3 is different. Like, what? And then all the side content? What? I've, like, been down this rabbit hole, guys. I'm, like, deep inside of it. It's like, help. How was the anime? Okay, so Danganronpa 3 is broken up into 2 acts. The Despair arc, Future arc, and then the last episode is called the Hope arc, where it kind of brings the 2 arcs together, but not really. The Despair arc basically takes place before Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc or whatever. And then Despair arc takes place timeline was directly after 2, but design wise it would have you suggest that there was a time skip, but it starts with like Naegi's like trial with like the Future Foundation. So like right after 2 timeline wise, but they have different designs and they look slightly older, so like whatever. I will start overall. I thought, I don't know, it was like, you know, like, how many do I need? Oh, I need quite a few. No. I need 2 more. And then we can just start beating these guys up. Unless this guy is like a Wormadam. No, we can start beating these guys up. Let's go. So at first, I was really invested in the Despair arc, right? Because I thought it was going to be a silly little slice of life for some reason. Like, I thought there was going to be a little bit more slice of life because that's kind of like what it was pitched as. And then V3 is like the killing game part. Or not V3. The Despair arc is like the killing game aspect of it, right? Where there's so it's kind of broken up into that way. And then, you know, as like if you watch it, right? Episode 1 is Despair or Hope. No, it's Future arc episode 1. Episode 2 of Danganronpa 3 is Despair Arc episode 1, right? So these 2 lines that are being told to you in kind of like parallel, right? So every other episode is every other. Is one arc or the other. Every episode is either one arc or the other, and like it's back and forth, right? Really confusing, honestly, but like whatever. I thought that. So at first, I was more interested in the Despair arc, obviously knowing how it ends, right? But I don't know. I just didn't think that it was gonna be the way that it is. Like especially around the time. So like it starts the year before, like Naegi's year is like our first years. Okay. So like that's kind of where you get your slice of life, and like I enjoyed that. And then the second that Junko is introduced in the Bella, what are you doing? The second that Junko is introduced in the Despair arc, like you kind of know it's like okay, like we're gonna get things are gonna happen. Like we get like the Twilight, whatever you guys know what I'm talking about. Twilight episode, whatever. You guys know, right? Sorry, the character names for the season 2 cast it kind of escapes me because like there's just so many of them, and like I haven't played the game yet because I'm waiting for 2x2 to come out. But I know the plot because I kind of had to watch Danganronpa 3. It's whatever. I don't know any of the characters. I know Chiaki, right? We have Chiaki, and I don't remember any of the other characters. And Chiaki's like, even then, controversial in her depiction in the anime, apparently. But oh god, where are the guys? Come on. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that So anyways, I need to get back to like my informal review of season of Danganronpa 3. I don't know. Once Junko is introduced, I was like, you kind of know where this is going. Mukuro as a character, I felt neutral towards until I heard a recap of Danganronpa If, which is not canon, but I do prefer that like depiction of Mukuro more than like how she's depicted in 3. I don't know. It kind of got to a point, especially once we get to like the student council killing game, where it was like, what are we doing, guys? Like, I don't know. I felt like we gotta start earlier with the Twilight syndrome. That's what it's called. I thought that they were not that it was gonna. I mean, like I thought it was gonna get fairly graphic with Twilight syndrome because it's Danganronpa. Like, come on, guys. I was not expecting for it to kind of be like glossed over, for it to focus on like characters that like aren't that important. Like, I don't know. I thought it was like building up to like. You could tell, like, it's building up to Twilight syndrome, and then it's like not really focused on that guy, on like what's his face's little sister. Like she's there, she's talking with what's his face, who becomes Izuru Kamakuro, but I don't remember who he is before. Hajime Hinata? Is that what his name is? I don't know. They're yapping about how they're talentless losers or whatever. And then next thing you know, Twilight syndrome has happened not only off screen, but like it like Twilight syndrome happens off screen, and now you're just seeing like you're barely seeing the characters react to Twilight syndrome in real time, which is crazy. And not only that, did we get hit 10? Yes, we did. And not only that, but like, is it double edge? Okay. Is double edge damaging? I don't know. But like, not only that, like, it's focusing on like the person who like it's focusing on like the murderer, I guess, after she's done the murder, and like the friend or whatever, like, it's like, oh, like I know what you did, and then like she like the murderer bullshits her way out of it, and it's like, okay, like that's something, I guess, but like, and then next thing you know, it cuts to like the next scene, and they're like, oh yeah, they found the murderer's body like hung up somewhere. Again, not that I wanted extreme graphic, it to be really graphic, but like it was just confusing, and that's just Twilight syndrome. And then so that's okay. I think that's one spectrum, right? And then on the other end of the spectrum is the student council killing game, and it's not even presented as a killing game, because I think like in the games, right, it was presented, or once we learned about student council killing game and what happens, it was presented like it was like, you know, it was like this like chaotic like killing game, but it was still like a killing game, right? Like theoretically, like I don't know, like basically what happens is that one student council member, or Junko and Mukuro gather the student council. They're like, what the hell is happening? And Junko's like, you guys are being blackmailed. Now you guys gotta kill each other unless you want this to get out. And like Izuru Kamakuro, who has been previously canonically stated to have been like somehow more of a participant, bro was just, first of all, Izuru Kamakuro was just like standing there in the corner. He was just sitting there watching. He was like, yeah, this is your demonstration, not mine. You know, if the student council said, no, we're not going to do this, nobody picked up a weapon, and they just like, or they picked up a weapon and attacked, like somehow attacked Mukuro and Junko and were successful, you kind of get the feeling that Izuru Kamakuro, who was standing in the corner the whole time, would have been like, this was your demonstration, not mine, and then done nothing. Even though, like, I think in Izuru Kamakuro's like I'm speaking really fast, I need to calm down. Even though I think Izuru Kamakuro's other depictions and like maybe more respected medium is like, he was more of an active participant. You get the feeling that he was going to like he imposed some sort of physical threat that he just did not in the anime. And not only that, okay? So, like, basically, it's, like, so confusing. It's so fucking confusing. How did I stray too far from battle, bitch? But, like, it's so confusing. Like, I don't... Okay. So, the student council, quote, killing game, if you can really call it that, it was really more depicted as a student council massacre, because what happens is that Junko says, you guys are being blackmailed, kill each other now, and they're like, oh, that's crazy, you know, we would never do that, and then one girl picks up a gun and starts like shooting at her student council members, which is definitely a choice, I would say, because, you know, definitely a choice. But once that student council member takes one shot at the other student council member, everything just goes straight to hell. There is no time to process what's happening. It's like violence to the most absurd degree. At some point, there's like this couple is like, fuck it, I guess we kill each other now. And then they are like, okay, like let's like die together, I guess. And then like before they can kill each other, some dude comes in and rams them both through. Like, what is happening? Like, listen, I don't want like gratuitous violence necessarily. Like, I know in Twilight Syndrome I was complaining that like all the violence happened off screen, but like a few episodes later, there's gratuitous violence. We couldn't like what's happening? Like, you guys get it, right? Like, no, like what's happening? It was just really weird. It was really weird because I think there are other depictions of the killing game that kind of displays, that kind of depicts it better, right? Where these kids are committing acts of violence in hopes that they can get out of there. It was like cartoonishly violent in Danganronpa 3. And I just kind of like skipped through it because I was like, I'm working on yapping assets. Like, I don't wanna watch this. You know, and then I think that, you know, I think the last episode of Despair was kind of cute, I guess. I don't know. I don't like the depictions of what happened to Yukizome. I found that like wildly disturbing. How to skip through that also. How to skip through the lobotomization. Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. And it wasn't even like, I don't know. I felt like future Despair arc had a really weird approach to violence that like the rest of that like, you know, the animation didn't have. Like I don't think that the games have the same kind of like approach to violence. Not to mention, we haven't even gotten to the part. So, you know, if you've played the games, right? Chiaki is an AI in the sequel. The prequel, surprise, bitch, Chiaki was actually a person, apparently. Like, that's what they retcon her. That she was, like, actually a person. And, like, okay, whatever. I know some people are really upset about that choice. I don't really care about that choice. I thought it was really... How am I straying too far from battle? It's gonna tell me I've strayed too far from battle again. Watch. Or not. But you know, the way that they explain how, class 76, 75, whatever, the Danganronpa 2 cast become, how they became the remnants of despair. Basically, they brainwashed Yukizome and brainwashed who's the one who's like, she has like such like a whiny ass voice and is like constantly sexualized in a very uncomfortable anime like way. Hold on, I gotta look this up because I don't remember her name. What was she was like what? Mikan. Yeah. Okay. So, Mikan gets brainwashed. And by the way, it is so uncomfortable to watch Mikan brainwashed Mikan, like, exist generally speaking. Like Danganronpa so quickly became a different genre of anime. One that I maybe wouldn't listen with, like, without headphones on. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening, okay? So we're kind of getting towards. So this happens at the end of Despair arc. Because, you know, obviously they made Chiaki into a real person. Chiaki obviously dies before Danganronpa 2. We have to explain why she's dead before Danganronpa 2. And basically they explain it. They tie that in with how the Danganronpa 2 cast became remnants of despair. Basically, I'm not even sure how to explain this succinctly. Give me a second. Let me think for a second. Okay, so right after Yukizome, their teacher, has been brainwashed, the students are like, wow. Both Mikan, who had been missing, and Yukizome are, like, they're missing. We gotta go find them. Mikan comes in and she's like, guys, a really bad thing happened. We gotta go rescue Yukizome. And that was, like, I guess a a trap to lure the students to an somewhere underground where there are monitors so they can watch what happens to Chiaki, who is somehow also captured at this point. And Chiaki is captured and put into like a death maze. And the entire episode from there on is watching Chiaki fight for her life in the most violent way possible. And then, you know, she gets to the end of the maze. She thinks she sees her classmates and her teacher. Her teacher, by the way, brainwashed, threw her into the maze, by the way. So she got thrown into the maze by Yukizome. No one knows that Yukizome is brainwashed. Via lobotomy. It was crazy. And, so she gets to the end of the maze. She gets to this door that's labeled like exit or whatever. And I'm not hitting any of the things that moves I need to hit. But like, she thinks she's done, right? She sees a vision of her friends and her teacher. And then she gets impaled similarly to the way that Mukuro does in Danganronpa 1. And then not only we're not done yet though, because there's still runtime in the episode, by the way. So she gets impaled, and like, by the way, her classmates are all watching this happen, and like, something about brainwashing video. Okay, there's a brainwashing video. There's also a video that compels you to end your own life. I don't, whatever. Okay, like, we don't even have time to unpack that. Okay, we don't even have time to unpack that. It gets to a point. Okay, so by the way, Chiaki had previously had a friendship with Hajime Hinata, who is now Izuru Kamakura. I feel like I'm explaining this to an audience that does not know what Danganronpa is, and they're listening in like, what is happening? Okay. Chiaki had previously had a friendship with the person who Izuru Kamakura used to be. So Izuru Kamakura, who is like in cahoots with Junko, finds Chiaki, who is actively like in the process of dying, and she Chiaki somehow is like, wow, you look like my friend Hajime, and I hope he's okay, and also I failed everyone. As she's dying, wading through her own blood, trying to like, I don't really know. It was really sad. Like, hasn't this girl been through enough? She got impaled and then she died, okay? Like there was no more talking. There was no more trying to crawl and like groaning noises, like groans of pain. Like can we like what? Like I don't know. And yet, again, I just want to contrast this with what they did to Twilight Syndrome, where like all the violence happened off screen. Like, okay. Whatever. At some point, again, it just like, I don't know. It was so violent. It was so violent, but like in a way that Danganronpa usually, like Danganronpa is like, you know, a pretty violent series, right? But like, it was violent in a way that Danganronpa usually is not. If that makes sense. So yeah, I didn't. Okay, so then we have Future Arc. introduces you to a whole bunch more new characters, most of whom you don't have time to care about because everybody is dying. Like, it's crazy. The catch for future arc is basically, BRB, yeah. I'm gonna keep complaining because actually, I didn't realize how much of a bone to pick I had with Danganronpa 3 until like, I guess I was prompted about it. Because in my brain, I was like, I would only, like, if I were to go back and watch it again, like, I would go back and watch the first few episodes of Despair arc, and then I don't know, the point at which Kirigiri becomes relevant in future arc. So I would basically watch the first and the second half of both of one arc or the other. I'll watch the first half of Despair and the second half of Future. Because there are like lots of other like canonic like timeline gripes that like more intense fans have. With 3, I don't have those gripes necessarily. My gripes, I think, I don't know, are also like not that like but also just like as a side note, I think Okay, let's go back to Future Arc. Future Arc, the game is that like, okay, so Naegi gets brought to his trial, and then Monokuma comes onto the monitors and he goes, surprise bitches, it's time for another killing game. And like, you know, Naegi gets like PTSD flashbacks, essentially. But the rules of this game is basically Among Us. It's basically just Among Us. Or they're told that the game is Among Us. But in reality, the game is not Among Us. The game is brainwashing, somehow. They all are equipped somehow with these, like, wristbands? Question mark? That all have, like, a secret action. Like, for example, some of them are, like, really silly. Like, I think, like, Naegi's is, like, don't run in the hallway, right? Which could be, like, a really good plot device, can cause tension, right? Because he is not super popular in the Future Foundation at this point. There's also, like, you have to keep your left hand clenched in your fist the whole time, and that has a really stupid payoff. One is one person's forbidden action is past like the 4th round with Naegi being alive, and that's like that has a potential to be interesting, right? Someone else's that's just like, you know, there for comic relief is you can't make a right turn, so like they're like making these like it's just funny. They're like basically walking in a circle to turn left. Like, it's funny. Someone else's can't open doors, or stuff like, oh, it can't step on a shadow. Can't consume food is another one. One is, you know, I'm just like listening to the forbidden actions because I thought this was like an interesting aspect, but like given that like they didn't have enough time to like really flesh this out, like, because they had to split it with Despair arc, like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so it's basically Among Us. They have like every 2 hours the bands make them go to sleep, and during that time the killer goes and does their thing, allegedly. The win condition is it's just Among Us. The win condition is winning as crew, and the entire time, you know, they're trying to figure out who. So everyone's dying either because this one character. Okay. In the background, right? In the background of the Future Foundation, that you find out there's like some sort of power struggle happening between like the president and the vice president, essentially. And the vice president is like going apeshit over. I don't know. Bro is losing his mind. Thinks everybody's the imposter. Is like kind of like Loki. Everyone's either dying due to the quote unquote imposter, the forbidden actions, or straight up the vice president, who is at this point just like acting out of paranoia. The entire game. Okay, let me rephrase this. The entire it's Among Us, but without the meetings, which I think is the part that makes Danganronpa really interesting. So I didn't end up really liking. So like that's why I didn't really like the first half of Future Arc, because it was just Among Us, but no meetings are called. I don't know, like. Danganronpa, the games, like, because I think part of the charm with Danganronpa is that like is the mystery aspect, is finding out who the killer is, right? And you need like the class trials for that. Apparently, the creators wanted to make Danganronpa 3 different, and by different they meant have all the violence but none of the fun parts of Danganronpa, i.e. like the mystery of it, and like, can you figure it out? Oh god, I was not ready for this. But I don't know. It was just okay. It was just okay. But whatever. It gets to the point where there's like they fake out so many deaths. By the way, they fake out so many deaths. Like, it's crazy how many deaths they fake out. They fake out a death in episode 1. Like, it's crazy. But whatever. You get to the point where you find out basically what happened. Oh shit, was it strong or agile style? I'm gonna look it up. Because I don't wanna... Haircut. This does not get it. Oh my god, no. Is this it? No. I don't want like Pokedex, like actual Pokedex. I want actions? Question mark? Yes. Strong style. Okay, I was right. Okay, hold on. Something is beeping inside my house. I gotta make the beeping stop. Oh, give me a second to collect my thoughts about where I want to take this for future. Talk about future art. Sorry, our refrigerator will start like screaming if it's like been open for too long. So I was hearing like the beeping noises. And I don't know, my mom just had it open for too long, I guess. Whatever. Okay, so future arc. I don't know, it's become revealed that Yukezome, who has used the brainwashing video from Despair Art, and she's handed over the two brainwashing videos from Despair Art. So she brainwashes, and then at some point she hands those videos over to the president of the Future Foundation, and the Future Foundation, like, I guess, watched the brainwashing video, which is good because the other video brainwashes you into like committing. It brainwashes you into ending your life. I don't know, whatever. It's really confusing. So he then, like, I don't know, that compels him to basically be the orchestrator of the Future Arc game. And basically, everybody after they passed out in episode 1 was somehow taken to a identical facility just underwater, like below their facility that they were just in, question mark, somehow. And there was no imposter. Whoever was by a monitor was woken up via the bracelets. They were shown the video to end themselves in the most violent way possible somehow. That's it. The only way to win the game is to turn the power to the facility off. Which one of the characters who should have been very dead by that point does. And I say very dead because the vice president on his, like, on his paranoid stabbing journey, ran this guy through with a sword. So, like, whatever. And that was like a few episodes ago by this point too. So it was a questionable narrative move for sure. But whatever. So they find that out, and the killing game was all an elaborate scheme to get the guy who created the brainwashing technique that Junko then used to create the self-killing video and the brainwashing video, to release another brainwashing video that makes people hopeful to end the Great Despair. And so our cast of characters, like Naeki's like, well, that's like, the problem isn't like the Great Despair. The problem is also the severe lack of free will that's happening right now on top of the anarchy. Like the underlying problem was, like, these people were stripped of their free will. Okay? Like, the underlying problem wasn't the anarchy that they caused. Because that's, like, obviously that's a problem. But, like, if you strip people of free will but the opposite way, that's still a problem. And the ultimate artist is like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna go brainwash these soldiers, I guess. And I'm gonna make them stop you at any cost, even if that means that they have to end you. And the last episode, which is called Hope Arc, the Danganronpa 2 cast, who have, I guess Hinata has revived everybody post Danganronpa 2, but Danganronpa 2 cast, stop. Oh, I wish I could remember the ultimate artist's name. Hold on, what's his name? No, he's the ultimate animator, Ryota Mitarai. Okay, so they get... Anyway, whatever. Danganronpa 2 Cast comes over. They get Ryota Mitarai to, like... He said, hey, man, we've all done bad things. Please don't brainwash the world. And that works. Makoto Naegi, who we have been following the whole time. This is the guy that we're supposed to root to. This is the protagonist, by the way. No involvement in the climax of future arcs / hope arc. Nothing. And that's certainly a choice. But the thing is that, like, I don't really care about Mitarai. Like, he's been around the entirety of future arc, but he has sat by Kirigiri's side silently and, like, been like, oh no. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't really had any characterization. Now, technically, at the same time, right? We in Despair arc, we are seeing how Junko comes to create the self-ending video and the brainwashing video. So technically, Mitarai does get more characterization via the Despair arc, and, like, it is kind of, like, important for, like, 2 to, like... It's, like, definitely an interesting narrative choice to have these two, like, timelines, parts of the timelines, like, being explained to you kind of at the same time. But, like, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it because as future arc already started with, like, very, like, okay, so episode 1, when they find out that they are in a new killing game, somehow Yuke Zome, who, by the way, has been brainwashed this whole time. She gets brainwashed before Danganronpa 1 happens, and then Danganronpa 1 happens, Danganronpa 2 happens, Danganronpa 3 happens, and she's still brainwashed. And then, you know, she ends up committing, you know, at the end of episode 1, you find out, because I guess she was closest to the monitor, but, like, she was also brainwashed. Like, I don't know. It was just like... I don't know. It was a choice. The way they treated the one gay character was also a choice. I really don't want to get into it. Didn't like that. Didn't like the homophobia that Junko was putting down. I'll be real. But yeah, Mitarai does get characterization, but I don't know. Like, whatever. And then one of the characters, they tried to, like... There are these 3 characters that you're introduced to in future arc, and then their backstories explained a little bit in Despair arc, but, like, not enough for you to care about these characters. But, like, they're in future arc. They have, like, this, like, one character has this beef with 2 other characters. The beef is mutual, by the way, and it's like, I don't know, it's confusing. Like, I don't really care about this beef, man. Like, but one of those characters is the ultimate pharmacist, who somehow has created an antidote to, like, the poison in the bracelets, because, like, if you, like, you know, if you try to take the bracelets off, or if you do your forbidden action, then you're basically injected with the super fast-acting lethal dose, like, lethal poison, whatever. Like, it's, I don't know. At this point, I'm just crashing out, okay? I didn't realize I had all that, like, I don't think I realized I had all of that, like, just like stuffed it into me. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was fine. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, again, also, before I give my overall thoughts and opinions, the actual answer that people wanted before I just went off on this like a rant, they, in a very confusing choice. So we all know, like, Danganronpa's like style, right? The blood is always like this bright neon pink, right? For some reason, in Danganronpa Future or Despair arc, they maintained that style. Lots of questionable narrative choices, lots of questionable choices around the depictions of violence and how much violence to depict. But like, whatever. Future arc decides to make the blood a deep red color, and it's kind of like, it's really off-putting to see. Like, I think part of me thinks that maybe they did it to like visually separate the two, like, oh, you're watching a Despair arc or a Future arc episode. But on the other hand, it really screams these two teams didn't communicate to each other. I'm gonna take a drink now because I'm done with my rant. All of that to say is that I am excited for Danganronpa 2x2. Like, I do want to play Trigger Happy Havoc, but like, I don't know. I think playing with updated graphics would be nice. But yeah, I don't know. Clearly, I've been like I just needed to. I think I needed to explain to you guys the apparently very deep rabbit hole that I fell into. Hello, welcome in. Pinnacle, is that how you say your name? I had to lean so close to that monitor. It's crazy. I hope one of you, at least one of you, appreciated my ramblings about Danganronpa. We're done now until Danganronpa 2x2 comes out next year. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. I did have to watch like a full ass like timeline video that lasted like hours. It was something I was like listening to while I was at work. It was great, guys. It's like, I don't know. I feel like okay, like, what I wanted when I first finished Danganronpa 3 was, what do people think about Danganronpa 3? Because clearly I have thoughts, but like, I haven't played the games yet, so like, I don't have like that perspective. And like, bro, some people have such strong opinions, and I'm like, I don't think I have that. It was definitely, there's some video essays out there on Danganronpa 3 that were there was one that's like 5 hours long, and I will still listen to it. I listened to that one start to finish. But like, the creator of that video definitely had very strong opinions on Danganronpa that I don't have. And hats off to them, because hats off to them. But yeah. Oh my god, I could drink more water. That was me screaming about Danganronpa for, oh my god, was that almost an hour? Was that 40 minutes of me talking about Danganronpa? What up, guys? But on the other hand, okay, let's talk about debut. let's change the subject just a little bit. Let's talk about debut for a little bit. I have a Commissioner 2 baking in the oven. But more importantly, I was like, oh, I'm gonna. So we have yapping emotes. coming our way for to replace the generic bunny emotes that we have right now. But also I was like, wow, I drew these emotes I want to say such a long time ago, because it's been a little bit less than a year since I've had I've gotten affiliate. So not that long ago, but long ago enough. Like I feel like since then I've been drawing so much more for this, and I feel like my art has maybe not leveled up, but it certainly changed. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna redo a couple of emotes, and that turned into, oh, I'm gonna replace some emotes, and I know exactly which emotes to replace. It's coming, but like, I also have like I have an empty slot too that I'm like, I don't know what to fill it with right now. I made the executive decision on what I'm gonna fill it with. But the Discord emotes, they're not gonna go away. I will replace the ones that are being replaced, but the ones that are not being booted from Twitch will like just stay up on Discord. So we will still have some of our emotes, just not all of them are gonna be on Twitch. And I think that's only right. Sorry, we've been like sitting here and yapping. Like I'm truly just trying to get through like these really are perfect yapping streams. I actually don't know if we've probably made our quota by now, right? Like I've been sitting here and like screaming about danganronpa. Like, oh yeah, we're so done. We were done a little while ago. Okay, Mime Junior. See Mimic. I think I only have one Mime Junior. Okay, I also today before I started farming right after I started farming for. Okay, so what happened was that I started farming for those space-time distortions, and then I did a little bit of Heracross hunting, but I mostly ended up clearing out box space, which is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna clear out more box space. Look at how much box space I cleared out. Like, it's not bad. Okay, so I've been keeping to a rule of we're keeping alphas and releasing kind of everyone else. But in this case, we have like what 5 alphas. We don't really need that many. So like we will just like start like mass releasing at this point, because like we really don't need this. Oh, we can't change boxes that way. And then I'll go by stats. Alright, release those, yes. Okay, so we need to catch 4 Mime Juniors. We need to catch 4 Mime Juniors. And then what we need to... I'm gonna check... Oh, is my satchel full? Oh, geez, my satchel is full. And then we're gonna check what Mr. Mime needs. Because I do always like having a higher level Pokemon in case we run into one of like the 3 sisters that like drop money when you beat them. It's actually kind of crazy how much farming, because I feel like this game, right? You don't get a lot of money, right? Once you stop catching mass, like we are. You get a lot of money early game, I feel, when you're just catching everything a lot, right? But like I think right now we are at a point where we are not going to be getting a lot of money, and we are going through a lot of money. So like farming for space-time distortions is actually a crazy good way to like conserve your resources while farming for money. I didn't check the thing. Okay, so first we're gonna check what Mr. Mime needs. No. So I guess we'll grab a fighting type Pokemon. Or a Pokemon with fighting type moves, rather. We'll grab Decidueye. Old, reliable Decidueye. Okay, I know that Mr. Mime hangs out around here. We're going to catch ourselves some Mr. Mime. Finally, some riveting gameplay. Man, I didn't realize like how beefy of an entry Heracross was. My goal is to get through Mr. Mime. But realistically, we're probably going to get through a little bit of Mr. Mime and complete Mime Jr., get through a little bit of Mr. Mime. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because I guess another thing that we could technically do is farm for outbreaks. I think Mr. Mime would be... I think that might be faster, actually. Or it might be easier. Mr. Mime, massive mass outbreaks. Or Mime Jr. Whoops. Mime Jr. massive mass outbreaks. That is Obsidian Fieldlands. And Coronet Highlands. Both options are possible. So we will simply reset. We're gonna do some save scumming, guys. We're gonna do some save scumming because it's the only thing we can do. I had a save scum a lot for Cleaver because I couldn't find enough. I didn't have enough Black Algarite, and honestly, using Ursaluna kind of sucks. Like, yes, did I get a lot of resources for money? But I don't know, the chances of finding, like, I know like peat blocks are supposed to be uncommon, but I was finding hella peat blocks and like zero Black Algarite, even in like, you know, like areas that the internet said that I should find them, but like it was kind of crazy. Oh, right. It is time to save scum. It is time. But yeah, I basically, yeah. I think, honestly, the save scum for Cleaver was so annoying, but we have a higher chance of it here because it can show up in like 2 places as opposed to just one. All right. And so it begins. And so it begins. Oh my god. I was playing Splatoon with my uni roommate on Saturday. Because we do have a weekly game night, but like we've both been so busy this past month that we haven't been able to do it in like a month. So we decided to play Splatoon, and like, oh my god, I'm so rusty. I'm so bad. Like, I was surprised that like we won a couple of games. Like, we won a couple of games, and we were like, wow, the team that we're playing must be really bad because like we are so incredibly rusty. Like, we should not be winning these. And the thing is that like I think like a week or two before I was playing Splatoon with Apples, and we like were losing every single game. We're like, wow, we're so bad at this. And then we started talking about other things and quickly forgot about quickly forgot about Splatoon, but still, kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm actually surprised about, though? I'm surprised the last Pokemon, or not Pokemon, the last Nintendo Direct had nothing about Splatoon Raiders. Like, I know we all know that it was a wildly, like, underwhelming Direct with, like, ZA getting a DLC announcement. Like, okay, realistically speaking, right? Like, we kind of all knew that there was a high chance that even though ZA didn't get it, but, like, there's a good chance that ZA was going to be getting a DLC. I feel like the fact that it got DLC wasn't surprising, but, like, usually they announce DLC, like, a year after the game has been released. And, like, usually, right, they, like, you can assume, right, that theoretically there are two teams working on... We're done with this. There are two teams working on the base game and the DLC, right? I think that was true for Donkey Kong. But, like, they still, like, announced it, like, a year later. So, like, I don't know. Like, we know, like, for Scarlet Violet, like, we knew that there was probably a DLC, there was going to be a DLC that was going to happen. But, like, they didn't announce it until, like, a year after, basically. Or, like, there was, like, some time after, right? I don't know. I was not a fan of the fact that, like, the game hadn't come out yet and we're already getting an announcement in DLC. But, like, I'm not surprised that we're getting DLC, if that makes sense, right? All that to say, a completely different point. That being, I don't know. I'm just surprised that we didn't get any Splatoon Raiders. Like, I think the fact that we got 0 Splatoon Raiders is kind of crazy. Also, no Rhythm Heaven. If anything, no Rhythm Heaven was, like, more upsetting. Hydrate, you got it. Is it because I'm yapping too much? I fear that this week's gonna be a yap heavy week, guys. I'm afraid we have stream tomorrow, but I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of information. I've run out of things to talk about. I mean, like, how was I supposed to know that I guess, on the other hand, though, how was I supposed to know that danganronpa was gonna be such, like, a juicy topic for us? And for us, I mean me. Oh, because I haven't heard enough? I'm so sorry, Crimson. Oh. Oh, don't you wish to know, huh? Hi, Sarah. Welcome back. Honestly, I think the danganronpa rant, like, took everything out of me. Actually, I do think it stopped raining. Like, earlier today, I know some people were, like, in Stelly's stream earlier. But, like, we were talking about the weather by me in Stelly's stream. Technically, I don't know what weather is either. But, like, basically what happened was that at, like, 3 o'clock Pacific or so, okay, 2:59-ish, all is good. It's a little bit cloudy, and you know that rain is gonna happen, but, you know, it's been raining since Friday. It's been, like, a fairly, like, light rain, but it's been a steady rain for multiple hours kind of thing. It wasn't, like, torrential downpour. So that's what I was expecting. And then 3 o'clock happened, and all of a sudden, the sky is black. The rain is hitting the house, like, really hard, really intensely. It feels like we're truly in the middle of a hurricane, honestly. And I look outside my window, and it looks like, okay, first of all, 2 questions. For anyone who's ever had to drive through a hurricane, my condolences, but I do know what the windshield looks like. You can't see shit out the windshield. That's what it looked like outside. To those of y'all who don't know what that looks like, imagine looking at a waterfall, but like you're in the middle of the waterfall. That's what it looked like outside. It was just, the rain was coming down. And then, like, it was coming down for about, like, maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then it just, like, stopped. And then it was back to, like, the sun was out. It stopped raining. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Oh, shit. I do have to check some. I forgot I had to do something at work. There was a button I need to implement that. I forgot that I didn't implement properly. I need to implement that. And it shouldn't be too hard, but I gotta do that. Whoopsies. Sorry, this is what it's just gonna be like until we get the mime junior. I guess theoretically, right, we can like check, right? I'm gonna sleep till morning first of all. But I guess there's no harm in checking. Hold on, let me check. All right, we do simply one check. And then if not, we keep going back. We go back to resets because I feel like that's just faster than like flying all the way out for the chance of winning. And like I feel like it's worth a shot to like check. Maybe theoretically, like, I think if we only need one, but we need 4. No, I'm sorry, we need 3. We need 4 total. Alright, this is kind of where they hang out at. When you find... Oh shit, oh, there's 2. Hold on. Okay, well, you don't see me. I guess we only need 1 more then. Maybe this was worth it. Okay, I was proven wrong. I was immediately proven wrong, but I mean, I guess like what else is new? I guess we can reset one more time. Watch this next reset. Have like the Mime Juniors. That'll be so upsetting. But I need to use Mimic 25 times, which means we're gonna find a Magic Harp. And then I gotta find a new thing to yap about for nonstop. Because honestly, this is kind of just what it is. The real question is, guys, how far do you think I'm gonna get? How far do you think I'm gonna get until until we switch gears fully? Because I don't know. Like, I want to be optimistic, right? Because I think if I'm going to be playing a game before ZA comes out, it's gonna be Arceus. Yeah, I don't know. I also still don't know what starter I'm going to choose for ZA. Oh, yes. Okay, that works. Yippee! We can go find our, Oh, do we need to... Oh, we need to give this guy food and scare it off with the scanner. No, I hate that. They always take such a long time to eat. I'm gonna crash out. Okay, move all at once, move all at once, move all at once, move all at once. Okay, we're gonna go back, because where the Mr. Mimes are, and we're gonna take care of this. We're gonna feed it 5 times, and we're gonna scare it away equal times as many. And if it's not there, I'm gonna cry, and we will take care of Mime Junior and reset. Spooky. Bro, it's oh my god, it's just trick or treat. That's crazy, actually. Okay, that is if we can find a Mr. Mime hanging out around here. Bitch, I know you see it. Oh god, the Pokemon are so stupid. Bro is screening me. That's crazy. Bro was screening the food. That's crazier. Bro, can we complain about work for a second? HR, okay, 2 things. First of all, HR will ever since I've been onboarded, right? They're like, you need to fill out this paperwork. Go to the portal and fill out this paperwork. And I'm like, I've filled out all the paperwork that I had. Like, I'll go fill it out if it's still there and I missed it. Like, of course I'll do it right now. But like, sometimes it's not there. But yeah, sure, I'll get back to you if I need help or anything. Today, I follow all their instructions. That paperwork is not there. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do because like, I can't fill out paperwork that's not there. I have done almost everything that I can. Help. And they like, HR is so incredibly slow. And I know it's slow everywhere, but like, oh my god, it kills me. Because like, I didn't have a lot of like things to do at work. And I'm like, I need to do this. Like, please help me. And I had some other questions for HR. And they like, are so slow about it. It's so annoying. This is not like a me at work, a my workplace specific thing, obviously. But it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like please respond to my team's message. Like if it's like an email, like I can get it. That could take a long time. But like please respond to my team's message. I know that you are not only online, which means that you are actively tabbed into Teams, but you also read my message. Please respond. Please respond to my messages. We will catch this guy also. But did it see us? I don't know. Trust fall, that's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Or like, there's also some guy from like, system operations who will like message me on Teams. Good morning, DX. No follow-up. I'm like, I don't work with you. I've never seen you around the office. I don't know who you are. And there is no follow-up. And I know it happens any day where it's like a system administrator like needs to reboot your PC. But I'm like, what does this guy want from me? Wildly upsetting. Let's just double check that these Mime Juniors have Mimic. No. Okay. So we're gonna. What I'm hearing is that these guys need to be roided up a little bit. We can roid them up. We can force feed them XP candies whether they like it or not. This is where I'm at. When does Mime Junior learn Mimic? I should know when Mime Junior learns Mimic. When does Mime Junior learn Mimic? Level 25? This is the closest Mime Junior to knowing Mimic. Imagine knowing when Mime Junior learns Mimic. Guys. This Pokemon, I've been planning kind of this Pokemon collab with, well, actually no, Ryusei has already publicly talked about it. Ryusei and I have been planning this like this Pokemon Souls Link since like for a hot minute, since the summer, but it's like probably not gonna happen until like next year because of his personal schedule. I mean, his personal schedule, okay, I think if he didn't have his personal schedule the way it is, we would probably, it would probably be, like, earlier, I feel. Like, it'll probably be December, but his schedule is the way that it is, so we're getting it at some point next year. Also, we have not been very good about it. We came up with the initial plans, but we have, like, not, like, talked about it a lot since. But, Mimic. But, like, we've been, like... I don't know what my point was. So, that's a hard never mind. Oh, is Mime Junior not a friendship evolution? Is Mime Junior once I know a certain move evolution? That makes it so much easier. I thought Mime Junior was a friendship evolution. Thank God it is not. I should do a Souls Link with Mito because that would be funny. That would be funny. Actually, that's going on the list for stuff next year. But actually, so something that I wanted to do now, because I saw this the other day. I saw another VTuber do this. It's someone that we actually rated. That's how I know of them. I don't remember their name. I think their lore is that they're a water dragon, maybe, question mark? Somehow? I don't know. But, yeah. We, what am I doing? I'm trying to find a Magikarp. Only water dragon Shih Tzu. I don't remember. I do not remember the lore. It's been such a hot minute since okay, listen, because like I feel like for me mostly, by the time that I'm like done with like. By the time that I'm like done with stream and raiding, I for the most part I really don't want to like raid into someone new because that's a lot of social energy that by that point I really don't have left, right? If I'm feeling social, like Bach gives suggestions a lot, and oh fuck, am I gonna have to switch this guy in and out of battle? Oh no, this isn't gonna be annoying. But yeah, I don't remember their name. But I think they do a lot of Pokemon content also. Regardless, they had somebody on with them to do a drawing challenge that would be to draw all original 151 Pokemon from memory. And I'm like, that's actually kind of fun. Like, I want to try that. So at some point, that's gonna happen also. Like maybe I want to grab like Mito, or maybe I'll grab like Apples or something to like do it. Low-key, I kind of want to grab Apples to do it with me because I know, mostly because I know like Mito's so busy. You're back. What did I miss? You missed the end of the danganronpa rant. I like kept going. I kept going. Basically, TLDR, I would rewatch the first half of Despair arc and the second half of Future arc again. But like the beginning of Future arc and the end of Despair arc are definitely rough watches. Mostly, and they both have the same thread in common in the sense that it's just gratuitous violence and for why. But like in a way that's like not really danganronpa, if that makes sense. Anyways, back to Pokemon. Grab a Pokemon expert and then someone who knows zippy zap about Pokemon. The thing is that they would have to like know enough about Pokemon to like draw like the 150, like the original 151 Pokemon. Like that's like kind of like the hard part. So like, I think it'd be really funny to like knowing that Pokemon makes it infinitely funny. They're like, all right, think about maybe. But the thing is though, like, right, like even when I asked, so back in February, right, I was asking around like, hey, I'm doing like a little Pokemon game show. Would you like to participate? Some of the people I asked originally, they were like, oh, like, no, I don't really know a lot about Pokemon. And I said, well, it's like not like a trivia game, right? It's like I was like, oh, it's not like really a trivia game. It's like more like you're kind of giving like a lot of it is like you're giving superlatives to Pokemon essentially. Like who's most likely to commit a crime and what crime would that be? Kind of like question. And they're like, oh, it's okay, I'll skip this one. But like no, like next time you're doing something, people like for sure like let me know. I'm interested, right? So like. Realistically speaking, like, I don't know if I'm gonna get people who aren't interested in Pokemon or like don't really know about much about Pokemon. If we were friends, then I would have accepted. And I know that you would have. You are also a big Pokemon nerd. But yeah, I have like no plans for this, by the way. I'm not even actively like making plans because I'm limiting myself to certain tasks. One of those tasks, so like, would you guys like a peek behind the curtain out here on the sun where DX is? So you guys know I'm preparing for dates. That's not a secret. You guys know that I eventually have a Souls link with Ryusei, probably next year. Not widely talked about, but also not a secret because Ryusei was the first one to publicly talk about. Okay, well, if your question is why does the sun have curtains, my question to you would be, well, why does the sun have torrential downpour today? Yeah, Souls Link. But okay, Minecraft Hag SMP, that is still technically alive and kicking. Like Swiss is still building their Elven city. And I'm like, well, I think we should do the events that we said that we said we'll do. So I'm like, okay, well, I feel weird taking the initiative on like making events in a server that's not my server. So I reached out to Sally and I was like, hey, would you help me organize these 2 events? I mostly have it planned out, but like you're really good at communicating to a large group of people and like, you know, getting people to commit to stuff, and I'm not very good at that. So like, would you help me with this? These are my ideas. And she said yes. So we are in the process of planning 2 events, okay? One is a silly little ping pong tournament. The other one, which by the way has been spoken about publicly, both of them spoken about publicly before, not often, but you know, publicly, just as public as like that Souls Link is. I think the last time I played Fortnite with Stelly and Ryusei, we talked about this. Doing a Minecraft challenge. No English Minecraft challenge. And I think I'm like, well, okay, well, like I speak enough of both Korean and Mandarin to like maybe get by. I think it's funny. If I would like to I want to participate because I want to add chaos. I want to add 2 more languages into the mix because that'd be so funny. Because the people who would be participating, for the most part, do not know each other's language well enough to communicate effectively. So it is a no English challenge, but no one is speaking the same language challenge. But for me to participate, theoretically, right, I would need to know, have a way to communicate with everybody without me knowing what, like, everybody's task is. So I have envisioned a system where, there is a group task, right? There's a group task, like build a house, right? And everybody only has X amount of the palette that needs to be used. Like, for example, if it's me and Entity, then I have 50% of the palette that needs to be used, and he has 50% of the palette that needs to be used. And like to the house in total needs to have 100% of the palette, right? I think it'll be funny. I thought it'd be funny to add another something else on top of that, which was to have an individual task, right? Say it's like, oh, go get quartz from the Nether with Selena, right? I think that would be so funny if Ryusei. Oh, I forgot which languages Ryusei speaks. Let's use a different example. Snake speaks Spanish to Stelly, or sorry, Stelly gets this task, right? Stelly gets the task, go to the Nether with Snake. And Stelly has to communicate this in Vietnamese to Snake, who does not understand Vietnamese, but does speak Spanish. I think that's really funny, right? It just adds another level of chaos. And then I was like asking Wisp for like, hey, can you help me think of individual tasks? Wisp came up with some really evil ones. And like, our chat history goes from like, kind of crazy to like dreadfully unhinged to the point where I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to participate in this because that would be really hard. Okay, well, okay, How evil? Okay, so let me give you a peek behind the curtain, right? Okay, so let me finish this first. So, in order to communicate with everyone, right? Like, if I'm participating theoretically, I need to not know what everybody's individual task is. Like, I can't know that Stella needs to ask me to go to collect the quartz or whatever, right? Because if she does start acting weird, and then she says, because probably realistically she's trying to say nether and not like describe it in Vietnamese, right? So if I hear her say the word nether, it feels like cheating, right? Because I'm the only one who knows all the tasks because I communicated to everyone. But it'll be like. So for me to not know, there needs to be some way for one, the tasks to be generated randomly. Two, for everyone to like be able to see what the group task is, what the palette is, and to see what their individual task without me knowing. And so I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna create a simple front-end website with Firebase. Like, easy. So that being said, there is a function that will provide individual tasks and make a palette, essentially. And sorry, for some reason I'm having a really hard time with getting through the Mime Junior Mimic ones because you have to like switch and everything. But so there's a chance that some of these won't be revealed. But I think one of the more evil ones, let me find it really fast. Let me find a truly evil one that we said. My shit, yes. Okay, here's a random evil. Here's a random evil one that we have. It's like, do your best interpretation of the Fortnite default dance for a panel of mods for judging. Bonus if you get an average of 7.0 or above. So in that scenario, let's say Ryusei gets that one. So Ryusei would have to go find like what, 3 mods and explain the situation to them. I'm gonna do a Fortnite dance. I'm gonna do the default Fortnite dance the best I can in Minecraft. And you're gonna have to judge me out of 1 to 10. 1 being help, and 10 being I knew exactly what was happening. It was great. So it's just like a fun little chaotic side quest, basically, or what the individual tasks are. You know, it could be like something like helpful that adds to the build, the group build, being like, add use the furniture mod to add furniture to the house, right? Like it could be simple like that. Or like use furniture, or like ask DX to use the furniture mod, whatever, something like that, right? So it has to be something interactive, so it's not just like, oh, like go find quartz, or like it could be something like, oh, like go find 20 logs of, go find like 3 different types of wood with another player, a specific like with Stelly, and add that to the build, right? It could be like something like that, or it could be like something unrelated to building, like do the Fortnite dance in Minecraft. We know we don't have emotes in the server. Do the Fortnite dance in Minecraft and be judged for it. Bonus points for 7.0 and above. That's just evil. I think I came up with that one. Wisman did come up with some truly unhinged ones, though. She came up with ones that also just like wouldn't work for like other languages, but like I was like, oh, that's like a good idea. Like we can change it to make it like more friendly to languages that don't have alphabets. Like there are some fun. This has nothing to do with There's some fun ones that had like, oh, this has nothing to do with Minecraft. That being said, if y'all have any suggestions for basically Minecraft side quests, I'm all ears. Because like, basically this would mean that like theoretically almost everybody would have, I mean, it's also very possible, right? That like the randomization happens such that I have like 5 extra side quests and everyone has their side quest, but they have to do it like with me somehow. Like that's also very possible. In an ideal world, everybody would have like 2 side quests because they're the ones either initiating the side quest or they're the ones being like, hey, I have this thing that I have to do. Best self-portrait in 30 minutes in creative mode. See, Wisman did came up with that one, right? And then we were like, oh shoot, like our server is like it's a survival Minecraft server. Survival multiplayer Minecraft server. So like we can't like go into creative mode. But like we were like, oh, that would be funny, like for like one of like Wisman's other like one of Wisman's projects, essentially. Like I was coming up with like, it was a fair trade because I was like, oh my god, Wisp, do you know what you could do for your project? You could do this other thing. So we were kind of just like trading ideas for a hot second. But I think I know exactly who to ask for like compatible palettes. For the group. Actually, never mind, because the people I was thinking about, they are very good at making like very clean builds, but like they've been sticking to their palette. So I don't know. I'll think of something. Maybe I'll be logging into Minecraft randomly. Randomly for this. Alright, we can move on to Mr. Mime, and then once we end with Mr. Mime, once we're done with Mr. Mime, we can probably call it here because we got more we have more ZA coming our way tomorrow, because honestly, we're kind of streaming a lot this week. I have way too many Mr. Mimes. Like, if I have so many, like, we are gonna grab the high level ones. But, like, come on. But yeah, this is what I've been doing, is that we've been, like, using... Hold on. What does Mr. Mime need to do? Defeat. Catch without being spotted. Mimic more? And agile style. We need to scare it off one more time. We need to scare it off one more time and, like, see if we can, like, catch it without being seen. But again, we can do that. We literally hung out. Ooh, it might have reset. Okay, how many times do we have to use mimic? A hot minute. Oh, wow. Here's one. Add a random sign in the group build. Sign must have contain a 10-letter word. 3 uppercase must be a symbol word. Okay, so here's the thing, right? You have to think about writing systems. Not all writing systems. One, have a capital lowercase distinction. 2, have like... Okay, let me rephrase this. A lot of alphabets are based on... It's on a wooden sign. You can have like... I can type like Hangul, which is alphabetical, but doesn't have like a capital lowercase like system, you know, like in Minecraft, on like a wooden sign. So like, because like Wisp was also like saying like, oh, we can like, for example, like, oh, like play Wordle, right, with the mod. Right, the mod knows the word, and like the person has to like spell it out, but like in whatever language, right? And now I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that's a great idea, because I was envisioning something else, right? Like it's a 5-letter word in English, but I have to describe what the word is, and like the mod has to guess it, and then like the player would put down the blocks for like yes, no, and correct letter, wrong place, right? So that's what I was imagining, because like that's like doable, right? If you take Korean doesn't work that way. Korean would not work that way, and like say like Mandarin, for example, also wouldn't work that way, because the writing system is character based, right? So like personally, I'm trying to stray away from like anything that includes writing, because one, it makes for a less interactive experience, but more importantly, it is so much harder to think about games or like things that would work for different writing systems. And like we have, and like of the people who I recall who were going to participate, like obviously it's open to all multilingual hags server members, but like of the people who I knew who were wanting to participate in this, originally, from like back when it was originally pitched, we have things that are wildly different, essentially. Like, I don't even know what one of the writing systems are, I'll be so for real. Like, I've worked with that language a lot in my Ling classes in university, but I don't know what their writing system is like, and as a result, right, I still have to, I think, like, framing it in terms of, like, okay, so you have, like, languages like the that use the Latin alphabet. We have languages that have an alphabet but aren't the Latin alphabet. And we all have languages that are non-alphabetical writing wise. So you have to kind of like account for those three. So like, for example, like playing Wordle, I think the way that it was originally pitched would be hard. Because not all languages work that way, right? Oh, there's just gas right on. We need another Mr. Mime. We need like 3 more Mr. Mime. Well, there's one. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just the peek behind the corner. That's kind of just like what I've been working on. But like I do like this because it's such like a silly way to combine. It's such a silly way to combine like everything that I've kind of like been doing in my adult life up to this point, right? Like we have the streaming aspect, we have the coding aspect, and we have the linguistic aspect. So I think it's kind of a fun little thing for me, I guess. Stop moving. Oh my god. Yeah. 2 more. 2 more. Yippee! Okay. Hear me out, because this is a lot, and danganronpa took something out of me. We're going to reset. We're going to reset once and like finish catching, and then I will honestly we might pick up after Mr. Mime tomorrow. And I don't know, tomorrow also might be a shorter stream because I have some we have some testing at work to do a lot this week apparently. I found that out today. So we got some testing to do. I know one person who may be online because it's apparently their birthday. But we have never rated them before. We have never interacted with them before. And like their vibe is like very different. But I think given how the Monster Hunter conversation went today, it might be an appropriate raid. But that is if they are still online and like... What do you mean, huh? What do you mean, what do you mean? I'm talking about that Nosferatu conversation. You know the one. Oh, that's a reset. Yeah, like, no, okay, I'll be so for real. Like, Nosferatu is probably not my vibe of movie. Like, I probably won't enjoy the watching experience, but I did watch, like, an in-depth video about, like, about Nosferatu and the history of Nosferatu. Because the one that came out recently was like a remake, right? So like, and I guess like they remake it, like the history of it's like kind of interesting. So I was like watching a video, and I do know like the plot of it, but like I don't know. I think me watching it, I won't be like an enjoyable watching experience. And you know what? That's all well and good. I am happy to listen to Crady and Mito talk about Nosferatu. I'm very happy to listen to Crady talk about Nosferatu because it's so funny. They need to become so unhinged, like, immediately. Yes, but also What do you mean it's related to that conversation? If you know, you know. If you know who I'm talking about, then you know. Bro, you're shiny. Ah, Mr. Mine's all the way over there. We're gonna spray this on. Okay. And now we wait. Also, Nintendo, throwable Pokemon toy when? Who knows? Ah, shit. You don't see me. You see nothing. Let's see if I can get it to run away, but again. I'm gonna like... Oh god. Get away. Ah, shit. Getting this guy to, and like not being like... Bro, you did not run. Come on, go. Ah, shit. I don't want to catch you. I don't want to fight you, but I will do it anyways. Stop running. Stop. 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 Stop running. Stop running. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Things are a disaster immediately. This was not about you guys. This is not about you guys. Can you guys catch? Oh my god. It's a backstrike with an Ultra Ball. It does not get more precise than this. Unbelievable. What the hell? Okay. Trying to scare you off for real, but again. Yes. Run away. Run away and preferably turn around so I can, like, grab you. I can snipe you. Oh, fuck. Okay, we did it. That was only 8 out of 10. I thought that was 9 out of... I thought that was our 10th and not our 9th. Oh my god, that hurt me so much. That hurt me crazy. We'll sell this first. Oh my god, that hurt so much. That hurt so much. That hurt so much. God. God. Stop talking, stop talking, stop talking. Awesome. Did I want to catch 4 Pokemon? No. But we did catch a shiny, so I guess, like, you win some, you lose some. All right, we leave and come back one more time. Bro, that Luxray was like not happy. That Luxray was freaking the fuck out. All right. Ah, shit, overquote. I think I would want to catch more of the. Actually, no. I don't care. No, fuck, I do care. I do care. I do care. I do care. Okay. Whether or not there's a Mr. Mime there, we are going to handle this outbreak. It's gonna be ass because it's in the sea. But the less ones in the sea that we have to deal with later, I think the happier I will be. Okay, ground type moves. Yeah, I guess you work, but is there a more reliable one? There is. All right. We roll out. Okay, it's either there's a Mr. Mime or there's not, in which case we do the outbreak, or there's a Mr. Mime and then we end stream. We're not doing both, but I will be handling both. I will be taking care of both. Oh shit, I forgot to sleep. So I think they spawn more during the day. Or not. You see nothing. You see nothing? Who is freaking the fuck out? It's you. Of course it is. Climb the ledge! I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. Test me. You are being immediately released. Trust. Stop walking this direction, please. Oh my god. Oh, yes. We did it. Oh, that's a catch. Let's go. We did it. Okay, I'm not gonna fly towards the outbreak. Maybe we won't. It's late. We're getting close to 4 hours. It's always crazy because whenever we add Monster Hunter Monday, I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna have anything to talk about. I'm not as entertaining by myself. And then nonetheless, I find myself like still streaming for like a good while after, usually. Okay, so we're gonna save here. I'm gonna exit out. I'm gonna theoretically exit out. God, Street Deck's so finicky, so finicky. The buttons don't like to work half the time. Yippee! All right. That's the end of stream. We have a big stream scheduled this week. So I will see you guys tomorrow. But firstly, thank you to Panicle for the follow. I very much appreciate. I think that was during my danganronpa rant. But if you like what you see here, we always have socials. Yippee! I'm most reliable on YouTube. put that out there right there. Right there right now. Because I am really bad at social media. And that's okay. All right. Let us find someone to raid. Where's my little tab with all the things? There it is. Oh, okay. The question. Do I send you to this person? They're kind of loud, they're unhinged, but it is their birthday. And again, I think given our conversation about Nosferatu, I think it would be appropriate to send you over to this person. Because if that's not the vibe, we can find somebody else. But I would like to remind you that it is this person's birthday. And they did just catch a raid. And they are, I think, in a collab, so maybe it might be toned back a little bit. Or it could be turned up, who knows? Because if not, I have no idea what they're playing, by the way. Because otherwise, I don't know. There is somebody else that we could raid, that we've raided before. But I think, if nothing else... Oh. Hey, Zero. If it's not the vibe, it's not the vibe. I'm a little bit, like, afraid to raid this person. But you know what? It's my stream. Let's do it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to raid Elianson. My model just died, by the way. So this is what I'm going to look like until the end. We're going to raid Elianson. We're going to snooze the ad. It is their birthday. A fair warning, though, they do tend to be a little bit on the louder side. I think they generally will have a little bit of a dirtier sense of humor, but they are a fellow hag. And like we've never really had any interaction with them. We as a channel. So, a little bit of a warning. Putting it out there. So that we're not alarmed fully. It looks like they are in a collab with their stream partner Neapolitan and somebody else who I don't know. Because it's not listed. But I'm going to hit... Oh. I'm going to copy paste this actually.